An interesting strategy that's in between growth and value investing is GARP. And it's interesting because it's a kind of cool kind of name, right? GARP. I'm a GARP investor. So it's kind of strange, I guess. But GARP actually stands for something. It stands for growth at a reasonable price. Right? So think about that. You want growth, but you want it at a reasonable price. You don't want to pay those high price to earnings, high PE ratios. You want something a little bit more reasonable, something a little bit more safe maybe. And that's the idea of GARP, or growth at a reasonable price, is you're looking for growth opportunities, these high flyers, but something a little bit more reasonable, where you're looking maybe for something that's undervalued and for some reason it's recently being punished, that should be, turn around quickly and become a high flyer. So GARP, or growth at a reasonable price, is a combination of growth and value investing. You don't have to be on one extreme or the other. With GARP, it says, well, you could be kind of in between. And you're looking for somewhat undervalued stocks, so you're not looking for the bottom of the barrel, biggest sale stocks that are on the big sale. Maybe you're looking at a little bit better stocks that are undervalued, just not the bottom of the bucket ones, because sometimes those bottom of the bucket, really terrible stocks never do turn around. They just keep going down and go away, maybe even go bankrupt, where you're looking for something that's undervalued, but it's not all the way to the bottom. But you want to have, not only is it undervalued, you want it to have a really substantial and sustainable growth potential, right? Some reason it's undervalued, but you want it to grow. It's not necessarily an income stock or anything. You're looking for something that's going to grow, but for some reason it's taken a dip. Something has happened in the news, something has happened in an earnings report, something has happened from a company announcement, something has caused that stock price to dip, and you think, boy, it's undervalued, maybe not terribly, but it's undervalued, but the growth potential is great, so I'm going to apply some GARP principles on there. And we're going to look at some of the ratios and things that are associated with GARP here in just a second. One criticism of GARP, by the way, is you're kind of in between, or it's kind of wishy-washy, right? It's like, if you're going to invest in growth stocks, then just do it. Invest in these great, high-flying, high trajectory growth stocks and just go with those. But if you like undervalued stocks, then go with those and go with the really undervalued stocks, the ones that give you the biggest cushion for it to go up, and things that might have this big turnaround and give you some great price appreciation, maybe even some dividends along the way. Go with the extremes to get the best return. GARP is too much in the middle, and you don't necessarily maximize the return either way with a good growth stock or a good value stock. And that's true. It just doesn't consider the element of risk. Yeah, if I take either end, potential is great at the extremes, but in the middle, I might mitigate my risk by looking at things that are just a little undervalued and maybe have some growth or some good growth, but just not a high flyer or a big underperformer. So how do we evaluate these stocks? Well, like any stock, you look at qualitative and quantitative information. In GARP stocks, that qualitative information is very important. Qualitative being, not quantitative. Quantitative being the numbers, hard, cold numbers, ratios, those types of things. Qualitative is more about, what is the business strategy? What is the executive team saying? What is the CEO saying? Do they have a new CEO? Did the CEO just left? What's going on with the company? What's going on with the industry? What are the trends in the industry? What are the overall demographics and things that might be happening in the global marketplace that might be affecting this organization? What is happening from a qualitative standpoint? And something probably has happened to drive the stock price down. That's why it's in that somewhat undervalued category. If it was way high priced, then it wouldn't be there. It'd be something has happened to maybe cause it to go down, to get on your radar as maybe a valued stock. So that's the first thing. Something has happened to cause it maybe to be more of a value stock. At least somewhat a value stock. And then you want to look at the quantitative aspect of it, the financial or the fundamentals around it, to start evaluating that to see, is it just slightly undervalued with some great growth prospects, or is it really just not a good stock? So quantitatively, just some guidelines and things to use. It can vary by industry, but and compare with industry, of course. But one thing to look at is look at its recent past and its future growth potentials. That's really what you're looking at, is what's happened recently that's maybe been not so good, negative, but what does the future look like? Does the future look great? Is it like maybe a pharmaceutical or drug company that just had a bad announcement because of a clinical trial, but they're very confident it's going to turn around and they'll have this great wonder drug. But right now the stock price is getting punished because they announced poor results from a clinical trial, or it's a technology firm that had a setback or something like that. But it'll be great in the end. Those are the kind of recent past and future growth you're looking for. The earnings per share will be more subdued. You're looking like a 15-20% range as far as earnings per share versus something like in a growth or in a value stock. So earnings per share is more subdued. And price to earnings is higher than a value stock, but lower than a true growth stock. Once again, maybe in that 15 to 25% range with currently with because we're in a high PE ratio period. comparing to other industries or other companies within the industry, but look how it compares to its peers. That's maybe slightly higher, a little bit higher from a price to earnings aspect, but it's not way at the top like you might see some of those big growth companies. Another favorite ratio that's used with GARP are growth companies at a reasonable price. And one thing that really a lot of folks who like this strategy really hang their hat on is the PEG value or PEG ratio. And a PEG of less than 1 is something is something they're looking for. It might be something that's nearer to 0.5. And PEG is a favorite measure for GARP is looking at price and earnings in comparison to growth. We'll look at that in the ratio section, but just think right now, PEG of less than 1, something near to 0.5 would be great. And so the whole idea is you're looking for growth, but you're looking for the price to be reasonable, price being the stock price you pay. So, but understand, it's kind of wishy-washy. It's kind of in the between. So if you're not sure you want to take on the big risk of growth stocks or take on the big risk of a really super undervalued value stock that might not ever recover, maybe using some of these principles and understanding that you're looking for growth and value together under GARP might be the way to go.